I know you guys are going to miss me straight talking. And welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well, in great spirits. Okay, in great spirits, because somebody by the name of Olivia is on her way back to the United Kingdom. So great news. But yeah, a lot for us to unpick and unpack. I don't actually know how long this review is going to be, because the episode gave, but at the same time was a bit lackluster, and I actually don't have that many notes, but we'll see how we get along, because you know that my mouth certainly likes to run. So as I usually and always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe, guys. We are literally, I think, like maybe 50 or so away from 27k. So yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed, please be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family, and also be sure to follow me on my Instagram at SarahDestinyX. Also hoping to hit 7k there very soon as well. And as always, like I usually and I always say, please get cozy and comfy with a hot Ibina and some snacks, and let us get into this review. So let us start off with Olivia and Maxwell. You guys already know from yesterday's review, we were given the preview, which didn't make any sense, guys. I did already say this yesterday, and a lot of you commented this on yesterday's video as well. Who does Olivia know in production? Is it her dad? Is it her granddad? Is it her brother? Is it somebody? Because we've never seen this, number one, but I don't know anyone who has ever been dumped and been given as much power as Olivia. It's not making sense to me. But we do know that they were going to be given the option of voting for 2 other islanders to be dumped with them. A lot of people were speculating that it was going to be out of the entire island, and I think that's just because of the communication from Love Island side. It was quite poor, which is why so many people were confused. But we do know they did end up picking Claudia and Keenan. To be honest, I feel like that was the best option. Yeah, Shaq and Tanya shouldn't have been dumped anyway. So yeah, I think Claudia and Keenan, it was their time. I was tired of seeing Claudia's tears. Keenan, we were just getting to know him, but unfortunately we have to get to know him outside. All right, please pack and land safely. I'll be honest with you, the speeches were very somehow. Let's start off with Olivia. I think Olivia said something along the lines of, oh, I know you guys are going to miss me straight talking. I've been telling you guys from the jump, the lack of self-awareness and self-presence in this villa for this entire season needs to be studied. Who was a straight talker? Because I know it wasn't you. Let's be realistic here. And of course, Maxwell was saying that, you know, he's very happy that they decided to be exclusive, and, you know, I'm just happy that we're exclusive. That I'm just happy for us to begin what we have on the outside. Maxwell and Olivia are not lasting, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. You can see this as well. Maxwell looks like he's ready to clock out. They're not lasting. And yeah, of course, Claudia and Keenan joining them on that flight back to Heathrow. Safe flight, guys. Of course, let us move on to briefly Sammy overly crying. I don't know why she was crying so badly. No one died, okay? You can also see them at the airport and when you're back in the UK. I don't know why Sammy was crying so much, but honestly, I'm glad that I no longer need to mention Olivia in my reviews again. I'm glad I don't need to mention Claudia in my reviews again. And yeah, like I said, wishing them safe travels. Now let's move on to the following morning, guys. One thing I will say, and I also tweeted this as well, they were honestly acting like they were mourning. They were reminiscing on memories and, oh, she was my closest in the villa, oh, you know, we had a really good bit. They're okay, guys. Like, for me personally, I just feel like it was a bit too much. But I will say that Kai and Sanam actually made me laugh, because in the midst of all of these tears and all of this chaos and everything, they were just like, oh yeah, guys, I just want to let you know that, you know, like, we decided that we're going to be exclusive. And of course, the rest of the villa were very happy for them. But Kai wanted to smile whilst he was talking to the guys. He's glad that he doesn't need to deal with Olivia anymore, okay? He is very glad. Also, another side note, I did mention in yesterday's review that I didn't really know what exclusive meant, only because I definitely feel like it is a Love Island term. Some of y'all were in the comments letting me know that exclusive is essentially the stage just before girlfriend and boyfriend. Like I said, I definitely think as a Love Island term, people in real life don't say exclusive. You either just know you're exclusive or you end up becoming official. I think, from my experience anyway. I definitely think. Let's move on to, I guess, Kai and Sanam again. They were just eating breakfast. Guys, I really like them. I do think they do deserve to win, only because they're very unproblematic. A lot of people do think they are boring, but I feel like they're okay. Out of all of the couples in the villa, other than Shaq and Tanya, I actually do feel like they come across as being the most genuine to me. But please let me know if you agree or disagree, because I know some people on my Twitter were disagreeing with me, but that's fine. I love seeing and hearing you guys' opinions. Now let's move on briefly, I guess, to Rosie and Casey. I know Casey is glad. Okay, the joy in his heart that Claudia is not there to be, oh, you're this, you're my man is tired and he's happy that he can crack on with Rosie without any interruptions anywhere. But of course, they just shared a kiss. I guess it was a big deal for them because they were able to kiss openly in the villa without anyone's eyes, wandering eyes, just watching them to see what they're doing. But that's all I can speak about Rosie and Casey. Anyway, let's move on briefly to Shaq and Tanya. No, yeah, Shaq, Tanya and Ron. So Shaq was talking to Ron about, of course, Tanya wondering if being the, you know, voted as the 4 least compatible couples, which we're going to get into later on as well, because I actually now know that Tanya is delusional. She confirmed that for me in today's video. But anyway, he was saying, you know, like he's just really worried, like he hopes that Tanya hasn't taken the vote to heart and things like that. But he did say that, you know, he didn't come here to be voted most compatible for outside people. He came to find his true love for himself, and he's very happy with that. And he's happy for him and Tanya to leave because he defo found what he wants. So good on them. Okay, defo good on them. We can briefly move on again to Will and Jessie. They were speaking about Olivia being gone. She did say she feels a lot more calmer. I mean, not calmer, but calmer. Like, she's just a lot more calm. I hear that because everywhere Olivia went was chaos. Okay. But Jessie was also saying that, you know, she was initially worried about, you know, being voted as the least compatible, but she's ready to get out of the villa and explore things further. Pretty much just reassuring Will that I've let everything, all bygones are now bygones, and I want to get serious with you, and I forgive you, and I love you, and this and like that. Yeah, I feel like Love Island is wrapping up anyway, so a lot of these couples are having these conversations. But Will and Jessie, you know, they can also explore their love on the outside as well. I think that will be fine. Let's move on to them, of course, getting a text about Sports Day. Like I said, I can tell the season is ending because the producers are running out of things to show us, okay? But I will say, I'm very competitive. When I was younger, I really loved Sports Day. I can't lie to you. I loved, you know, a bit of athletics, you know, just getting active. But yeah, I loved Sports Day growing up. Let me know if you did down below, but I absolutely loved it. But nothing to flag up about the Sports Day other than the fact that the red team ended up winning, but of course they ended up cheating. So the win was definitely in vain, but they did end up winning. And we do know that their win also caused a little bit of drama towards the end of the night. We can now move on. Sorry guys, I feel like this review is going to be so quick, but there really wasn't much to discuss. So we can now move on to the night time. Of course, the guys were getting ready, and Tom was low-key getting onto Will and Shaq about being winners, whilst of course his team ended up losing. We'll get into it later on as well, because you know there's a little kerfuffle there. But I just kind of feel like Tom is almost like his breaking point. I mean, you guys are strangers. I've come to meet you guys. I think I'm ready to go home. You know when you're tired and things just honestly start irritating you? I genuinely do feel like that was the angle that Tom was coming on. But Will and Shaq were doing the absolute most. But like I said, we'll get into it. Of course, now it is the night time where they give their usual clink clink drinks for their speech. And Will actually dedicated the speech to the losers. You know when people just honestly want to rattle you, like that is their mission and their goal in life. That is exactly what Will tried to do in today's episode. Of course, Tom now ended up speaking to Sammy about them doing too much. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not saying that me and Tom are alike, because you guys know I don't really vibe with him. But I will say that Tom is like me. In the case of irritation, I get irritated very easily. Sometimes I need to actually pray to God, because the smallest things can just rattle me completely. And don't constantly speak about something that you know is going to annoy me, especially if I've already voiced it to you. I think for me, let me know if you agree or disagree, right? But I don't feel like Tom was acting out of proportion. I felt like what he was saying and what he was doing was fine. The challenge is over. Sports Day is over. Like I said, I get irritated quickly, so maybe that's why I'm siding with him on this. But don't come to me speaking about the same thing that you know is going to keep on irritating me, because then I'm just going to get more irritated, and then there's going to be problems. It's rocket science. It's very immature for you to do the opposite. Okay? Extremely immature. But of course, everyone was talking about pissing Tom and Sammy off. Pissing? That's not a swear, is it? I don't think so. Anyway, but irritating, let me just say that. So everyone was talking about irritating Tom and Sammy even more. I feel like Sammy wasn't upset initially, but because her man was upset, she just had to side him to basically just see if they're going to bite, because you can tell from the villa that they were very irritated at the fact that the winning team kept bringing up the fact that, of course, Tom lost. Before we go back into that, we can briefly speak about Tanya and Lana speaking about feeling empty with Olivia not being there. They were like, you know, she's our OG, you know, she was our sister. You guys, I actually had to laugh when they were talking, like, guys, honestly, just stop. Okay, Olivia that will speak about everyone and their mum is who you guys are saying is your sister and your OG. It wasn't given, okay? It was not given. But of course, like I said before, this episode let me know that Tanya isn't smart. She's not smart. She was talking to Lana about the her and Shaq being voted, of course, like the least compatible, and then she was just like, oh yeah, but you know, I think they must have definitely voted me and Shaq as least compatible because maybe they feel like me and Martin are better suited. When, guys, as in God, what? Tanya, be for real. Like, you know when people just don't reason. When she said that, I just said, she's not smart. Okay, it's given delusion. It's not because we felt like you were better suited for Martin. It's because of the nonsense that you had to bring Martin into when Castlemore ended. I mean, I don't even need to spell this out. I'm sorry, I cannot even continue my sentence there. Tanya, be serious and wake up. Of course, let's move back to Tom and Sammy. They were talking about sports day and now everyone decided to now come and make it an issue, bringing up the trophy. Will for me was doing over doer, okay? And Shaq for me was doing over doer. And Shaq, it's even your own because this was initially Will's idea. You've now come to even do more than the director and organizer of this. Does this make any sense? And on top of that, like I said, if something already irritates me, please don't irritate me even more by bringing it up. I mean, I just kind of feel like it was very immature. Of course, you know that Tom really started getting irritated saying like, Shaq, stop. And Shaq's just like, what do you mean stop, bro? Like, you're just a sore loser. It's okay. Like, do you get what I mean? It's actually okay. Personally, for me, I didn't find it funny. I do feel like the storyline was just a bit forced. I feel like because it was a very lackluster episode, they just wanted to add a little pepper here and there, you know, like a little atarudo just to spice things up. But it honestly wasn't given. I felt like the storyline was very weak. But of course, Tanya did end up speaking to Shaq and told him to stop being petty. I think just because Shaq is so infatuated, just like, what do you mean? Okay, yeah, you're right. But Tom is already irritated. And for me, guys, like I said, I don't really side with Tom that much, but I have to side with him on this account. Don't do things that are going to irritate me, please. Especially when I've already voiced it to you. Please don't do it. Of course, we did end up getting a glimpse of tomorrow night. We are going to have the rating challenge. I think the preview that we saw showed Will and Jesse making a decision and Tanya and Shaq said they're not standing up or something like that. So maybe tomorrow will be good. But overall, Love Island ends on the 13th. I can definitely feel the energy that is ending. Glad that Olivia's back home. Glad that Claudia is with her. But yeah, guys, that is the end of today's review. As always, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely be sure to join the family. Road to 27k. I know that is right. Also, be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. Feel free to comment down below how you also found that episode. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for your love and also for your support. Please do take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.